So last year, Mission Viejo won the CIF Southern Section Division II Championship, and guess who their secret weapon was, Steve Fryer?
I heard it was this guy named Domingo Ayala, and if you really want to know how to play baseball, you young people out there, pay attention to Domingo's style and his training methods. You're going to get to the big league someday. You won't play semi-pro.
And you might end up in a Sacha Baron Cohen movie.
You guys ever heard of the Mendoza line? Yes. Hitting about 200. This is how you get to the Ayala line, hitting about 400. All right? In a countable position, okay? Now in the pitch count, you're gonna want to draw, separate, all right? Collapse, uppercut, and mash. All right, that's what I'm gonna show you today, all right? That's a fair ball, Mr. Coach. Hey! They see that the middle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OCVarsity.com Baseball Dugout Show. My name is Carlos Arias, and I'm right here with Steve Fryer. We're about to break down some playoff stuff. Fryer, what happened with the wild card round? What's going on with the Orange County? Break it down.
Orange County dominated in the wild card round on Tuesday, Carlos. There were 20 games in which Orange County teams played non-Orange County teams. Orange County teams won 13 of those games, so they did pretty rock solid. Pretty good showing for our buddies down in the Century League, with El Medina beating St. John Bosco from the Trinity League, and then Brea Olinda beating J. Sayre from the Trinity League.
Dang.
So yeah, so the public school kids in the Century League did themselves pretty proud.
So we don't need to worry about that Catholic school division in baseball.
Well, yeah, we do, because in Division I, we've got some pretty good
Modern day and Orange.
Modern day and Orange Lutheran, opposite sides of the bracket. Orange Lutheran right now, we just found out, #1 in the state. Modern day #2 in the state. And they're in opposite halves of the bracket. So if they are to meet in the playoffs, they would meet in the championship game at Dodger Stadium. You think that might sell a couple tickets? We got Olu playing Modern Day in a baseball final. I think that might look pretty good.
So, Mr. Fryer, let's talk about Mission Viejo, the defending Division II champs. Do the Diablos have what it takes to make another run at the title?
Well, early on, if you would ask me this back in March or April, Carlos would say, oh boy, looking kind of shaky. But then this is what happened. Mission Viejo got hot. They won the CVU League Championship. That's a really good baseball league, everybody. Won, 8 out of 9 games coming into the playoffs. And if you like momentum going to the playoffs, Mission Viejo's got a bunch of it. Got a really good pitcher, Kieran Lovegrove, and a bunch of other good guys just playing their best ball at the right time of year to do so, Carlos.
All right, we caught up with Chris Ashbeck and some of his Mission Viejo Diablo players. Let's check them out right now.
Early on, we knew we were dealing with either inexperience or just youth, and we had 7 sophomores start at one point during the year. But I think the coaches and I all had confidence that by the end of the season, these guys they'll have experience, they'll be varsity baseball players by then. And it started to come around. It actually came true. So we started playing late at the end, and we finished up strong. So it was a good finish. Hopefully not done yet.
Obviously, we got our league championship, and that was a huge moment for all our young kids. But I think moving into this playoff, we're going to see some kids really bring it. A guy I expect to do well is John Ballier. He's kind of been, since he came back up, has just been tearing it up. So I hope that he has a great postseason as well.
I think our offense is clicking on all cylinders. Our pitching and defense has been great all year, but our offense has really come together lately.
Now, what about some of the other divisions? What's going on? What should we be looking out for right now in the first round coming up on Thursday?
On Thursday, Division II gets started. Pacifica is seeded #2 in that division, and Cypress is #4. We've seen them play each other twice. Both times that Cypress had a lead in the 7th inning, and both times Pacifica, either tied it in the 7th and put in extra innings and won it, or won it in that 7th inning. They're in opposite halves of the bracket, so that'd be an awful lot of fun to see. But Harvard Westlake's also in Division II. That's a pretty good-looking team. They're like #4 in the state. We're #1 in the state for a long time. And then skipping over Division III, taking a look at it, we got a pretty intriguing team over there from the Garden Grove League, Rancho Alamitos. They got this big right-handed pitcher, Jim Roll. He's 10-1, got a 0-point-whatever ERA, like second or first in the county in strikeouts. So Jim Roll, that's a pretty rock and roll pitcher. And then speaking of great pitchers, we got Beckman and James Caprillion seeded #2.
That's my boy, Caprillion. I love that kid.
Yeah, there's a lot to love about a kid who throws like 2 no-hitters, and a one-hitter in between those 2 no-nos. So Caprillion's pretty good. They've getting some pretty good pitching right now from the #2 guy, Garrett Brown. And you got to have 2 good pitchers to get through those playoffs, Carlos. In Division 7, we got an interesting story going on with Tarbu Vitora, champion of their league, the Express League.
The Lions.
The Lions of Tarbu Vitora. But here's the wild thing. If they keep it up and they get to the finals, they're not going to be able to play in the finals probably, because most of the team is juniors. and the juniors at Tarbu Vitória are all going to go out to Israel for a big junior class trip. They would have to probably forfeit that game and not be able to play in the final should Tarbu get that far. So that'd be kind of an oddity, but we'll just have to see what happens there, Carlos.
Would there be any way they could move the final earlier, or is there no schedule, concession they can make?
It doesn't look that way at all, Carlos, unless the CF Southern Section decides to have the games in Jerusalem. But I don't know if the opposing team would have that kind of travel budget set.
When the Mashiach comes back. Exactly. But anyways, that's a look at baseball, and keep coming back to OCVarsity.com where we got you covered.
Thank you for watching OCVarsity.com.